Good morning, everyone. Rise and Shine is Global Entertainment News TV. I am your host, Sola, ready to kickstart your day with all the fresh news and stories. And right here with me, bringing our host back to the studio is
Bella.
Let's dive into today's headline, fresh from the Punch and Guardian newspaper. Today's top story from the Punch: Capital project crumbles as state cuts spending. Procurement delays, worsening insecurity, and rising cost of goods and services have emerged as major reasons several state governments failed to meet their capital expenditure targets in the first 6 months of 2025, the Punch reports. Findings from state second quarter budget implementation report revealed that capital spending across many states remains insignificantly below expectations, despite ambitious budgetary provisions designed to accelerate infrastructure growth. A fresh breakdown of the state government expenditure between January and June 2025 showed that 31 states collectively disbursed 2.75 trillion naira for capital projects. However, this figure represents only a fraction of the 17.51 trillion naira they had budget for capital expenditure in 2025 fiscal year. The budget performance of those figures is about 15.7%, meaning that 31 states achieved less than one-fifth of their capital expenditure targets in the first half of 2025. The underperformance has delayed critical infrastructure projects and deepens hardship for citizens who rely on improved roads, schools, hospitals, and water systems. This is also coming on the heels of the fact that the state earmarked 11.34 trillion naira to finance capital projects, but eventually recorded a funding gap of 3.98 trillion naira in 2024 as revenue shortfalls, rising wage bills, and heavy debt servicing weakened their fiscal capacity.
I'm not actually surprised about this, let me say, budget of 2025 because last year budget was actually very, very delayed before we can even see it. So they're talking about this year budget of having a below the amount that they have actually targeted. It's just as if that it was always a joke because they are the one that is actually receiving their monthly salary that they have never even wanted to talk about to like let us suspend it and then use it for a better project for Nigeria because they are always eager and waiting for that salary to be delivered to them, and they are always the one that wanted to be have the lion's shares of everything that needed to come into Nigeria. And then now talking about this, let me say, schools, road, healthcare, and all that they are saying that the budget is not even enough. The ones that I have been collecting from, what have they been using it for? Nothing. It has not been implemented into a better thing. Every state has its own pothole in each and every road. You see the road being flooded with water. You see the hospital, the federal hospital is being abandoned, no electricity, and then the school there is even dilapidated that to the point that most schools most primary schools have been collapsing and all that, and then you are still trying to, even if they don't even meet the one that they still meet right now, let me say the 3.75 trillion naira, they are still not going to use it.
It's nothing to even write them about.
So what are they trying to say now? Is it our fault that the cost of living is actually affecting us that is living, or is because of them that they did not put the right plan into place before all this?
You know, they're actually sugarcoating everything so that it won't be like they are not doing anything.
They thought they didn't see enough of money, so the one that they could have poured in their pockets is not enough. And even if they still see enough of money, there is still not going to be enough for them to use as any infrastructure build up or any project being done.
I feel if there is plan, if there is management, the little they are seeing, they will have worked on it well and used it to do a better thing.
Well, it's not Nigerian government that you are going to expect anything good coming out of them.
Yeah.
Even those that are trying to say that they are doing the little, you still see those that are telling them that instead of you to embezzle money, and you are there trying to please Nigeria. If we are not even helping ourselves in this country, and it's really, really sad.
It's real. All right, let's move on. 6 trafficked Nigerians arrested in Libya. At least 6 Nigerians suspected of being trafficked into Libya were arrested by Libyan police on Sunday. In a statement late Monday, Migrant Rescue Watch, an organization that monitors migrant movements, disclosed that the Abu Najim Police Department in Sirte, a coastal city on the Gulf of Sidra, also arrested a Libyan driver and his mother for their alleged involvement in the attempted trafficking. The MRW revealed that vehicle allegedly transporting the Nigerians were intercepted by the police. Abu Najim Police Depth seized a vehicle and arrested a Libyan driver, AMM, accompanied by his mother for attempted human smuggling of 6 undocumented migrants of Nigerian nationality. All referred to competent authorities for legal action, MRW disclosed. It was reported that in August 2024, a similar incident occurred in the Bish area of Libya, where a driver was arrested for attempting to smuggle 6 undocumented Nigerian women. The suspect initially claimed the women were his family member to evade arrest, but authorities uncovered the ruse and took everyone involved into custody.
This is one of the things that we are still talking about this smuggling and trafficking of a human being. And then there are so many temptations in the world right now that when the pressure that is coming in, that when you see people that they're going to tell you that if you leave this, you can go to this place. I'm still going to say that even if you offer me a job that is so mouth watering and then it's tempting, I will tell you in Libya, I will tell you that no matter how desperate I feel I won't be going. I'm going to tell you I'm not going, because that place is not even you that one day as a working person in a very documented way will still experience security altered towards you. Talk more of those that are being trafficked in that place. This thing needed to work hand in hand with other things. The Libyans that are coming into Nigeria to come and traffic people from Nigeria to Libya has to be checked by the Nigerian security personnel. Not when, okay, imagine a Libyan coming to Nigeria, picked 6 people, left Nigerian without any Nigerian security personnel could cut them and rescue those 6 people that are being trafficking, and then until they have gotten to Libya before they were being caught by Libyan police. That is really sad. All these ones, okay, you can imagine how many more that have gotten there without them being caught by the Libyan security personnel. If not that those security personnel in the Libya border actually tighten their security personnel, then all those ones. Imagine that tragic that they actually left their own hometown and no security personnel can actually brought those Libyans to book until they have gotten back. That is really sad.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. RMAFC face backlash over pay rise for political office holders. A chieftain of the People Democratic Party, Bode George, has taken a swipe at the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission over its plan to review upward the salary of President Bola Tinubu, his cabinet members, and other categories of elected political office holders. The Punch had reported that RMAFC chairman Mohammed Shehu on Monday at press conference in Abuja disclosed that President Bola Tinubu earns 1.5 million naira monthly, while ministers receive nothing less than 1 million naira, figure that has remained unchanged since 2008. You are paying the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1.5 million naira a month, with a population of over 200 million people. Everybody believes that it is a joke. You cannot pay a minister less than 1 million naira per month since 2008 and expect him to put in his best without necessarily being involved in some other things. You pay either a Central Bank of Nigeria governor or a Director General 10 times more than you pay the President. This is just not right. Or you pay him the head of an agency 20 times higher than the Attorney General of the Federation. That is not right. It is about time the people support the commission to come up with reasonable living salaries for ministers, DGs, and the president, the RMAFC boss stated on Monday.
What a joke. What a joke. I know that this salary is not actually the accurate salary that the president is earning, because there are more of it. This one is just the one that they are the tips in that they are getting, because if you're going to look at the wardrobe allowance, the feeding allowance, the traveling allowance, everything is being paid to them. 10 naira from their own hard-earned money is not being It's not,
They are not done.
they are not using it. So they are being paid to do a work, and then they neglect that work, leaving people in total danger. We are fighting for our life to survive. Let me talk about the terrorists. Let me say the insecurity. Let me talk about the health sector, and let me talk about the educational and all that. And then those work have been abandoned, and all they focus about is where the salary is coming in. If a minister is receiving a 1 million naira, and then you went to a minister's hometown, and then the road is being tattered, the school is being unkept, the health sector is dilapidating, and won't you have to hold that minister accountable?
Yeah.
How much you are being paid, and what are you using all those
do.
all those things that needed to be done? You are not using your salary to be doing it. This money is being given to you to do those things, but still yet you embezzled it, and then you use it for your own selfish interest, and still receive your salary, your wardrobe allowance, and every other necessities that is being needed. Tell me, why are we being so greedy? You coming out now to say that
The president is not getting enough.
Is not getting enough. Is the president doing enough for the Nigerian?
Apart from even not doing enough, like it's getting much more than what it is. This 1.5 is just
It's just a tips.
enough.
Let me just say,
Exactly.
it's just the tipsy of let me just say the tips of the iceberg that they are receiving. If you are going to talk about the Aso Villa that is living is not paying electricity bill, Nigeria is paying it. The cars that the fueling in the cars is not being paid
On
by
top
people.
of that, debt keep increasing
Every
day.
Loaning from China, from
Different
World Bank,
places.
from America, from everywhere, and then you are telling me that okay, this money now, the 1.5 million naira is not enough. That Nigeria is 200 million people, so each person needed to contribute some money, 1,000
I don't know.
naira, then make it the 200.
Imagine people keeps dying every day, and what you all can talk about is the president's money not being enough.
They are still calculating.
That's
The people
so
that
bad.
are dying every day, they are still calculating that
Exactly.
Nigeria is still 200 million. They haven't done a real sense to know how much have been lost past 2 years or 15 years to come. But they are still calculating that we are still under 200. We are still 200.
No,
We are
it is.
decreasing.
This
but-
is so bad.
oh my God.
All right, let's go to today's top story from The Guardian. Police arrest 13 suspected cattle rustlers, recovered 27 cows in security operators. Security operatives in Kaduna State have arrested 13 suspected cattle rustlers and recovered 27 cows along the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. The spokesperson of the Kaduna State Police Command, DSP, Marcia Azan, in a statement said the suspects were intercepted on Sunday, August 17, at about 12 p.m. following credible intelligence received by the Divisional Police Officer (DPO) of the Toll Gate Division. According to him, the DPO swiftly mobilized officers and mounted a snap checkpoint on the highway, where 3 vehicles conveying rustled cattle were intercepted. Those arrested were identified as Lawal Saki, Sule VIO, Ayuba Muhammad, Muhammad Bashir, Abu Mai Kaji, Abdulateef Lateef, Shamsuddin Abdullahi, Jonathan Ishaya, Yakubu Al-Hazan, Alhaji Abu Lawal Abdullahi, Shamsuddin Abdullahi, and Abba Amisu. Azan said one of the suspected confessed to receiving cattle from a notorious bandit known as Lagu, who has long been on the police wanted list, and another accomplice, Abdullahi of Rijana, who is also on the run. He added that investigation into the cattle rustling Africa will be able to keep a lot of these resources and meet the amount of infrastructure it needs. Additional said. Imagine this kind of thing. And you are there fighting for the president that is receiving 1.5 million naira every month.
Well, talking about this thing about the African losing
$580 billion.
this amount of money into corruption and illicit
It's
and,
capital.
and then in a debt
Mhm.
this is not just about this Nigerian alone. This is actually about let me say African as a whole
General.
being under let me say we African we are now under the foreigners like for survivors. If we are going to be losing this kind of amount into corruption, we are not checking ourselves very well. Whatever independency that we think we have or trying to actually, let me say, lead ourselves is not working anymore. Because right now, each and every African countries with their leaders are into one corruption or the others. And then this is not even supposed to be.
At all.
You can't actually hear the Western world trying to actually scrape out corruption from their country, and we the Africans that we are trying to actually adapt into it, losing money into drugs and illicit movements and also losing money into corruption. It's not supposed to be.
At all.
If we the Africans continue to be in this type of a mess, then tell us who is going to come and save us.
Yeah.
No one. We have to fight for ourselves. We have to save ourselves from all those mess that we're putting ourselves.
It's well, God deliver us. All right, let's move on to the next top news. Court sentenced two drug kingpin to 10 years in prison. NDLEA's verdict. Two notorious drug kingpins have been convicted and sentenced to a combined 10 years imprisonment by a federal high court in Lagos. Adesibo Emami, 37, popularly known as Warren Kingsman, and Solomon Akomwa, 51, were sentenced following separate drug trafficking charges. Emami was arrested in Ikeja, Lagos on Saturday, June 28, 2025, after NDLEA operative dismantled its drug trafficking network in a 3-day operation that had led to the arrest of 3 other suspects. Recovered from Emami's network were 24 jumbo bags containing 681 pouches of Canadian loud, a strain of cannabis weighing 414.2 kilograms. The bust of Emami drug ring followed credible intelligence on its attempt to move the shipment to the Lekki area of Lagos, from where it would be distributed to other parts of the state and across the country.
Well, drugs is
Drugs
one.
dealers, like-
No, drug is one of the things that no matter how much you think that someone should be clean of, or how you expected people to actually be clean, you won't actually know them because
At all.
it's the let me say the ones that actually bring in most money, because when it comes to illicit and then corruption, it goes hand in hand. Because if let me say if those that are working with the government are not purchasing this, or they are actually lending money into this, because it's a cash cow.
Yeah, they're putting their money into it.
It's a cash cow where the money flows in, and when the youths are actually addicted in this thing, there is no any other coming back in it. You have to keep going deep, because the more the markets keep coming, the more the demand is. So all these things cannot actually be wiped, but everything needed to be done accordingly. If there are youths that are not demanding for this, and then there are better jobs and then better provision of life and health, I know that this thing of the demand for let me say illicit is going to drop, because the youth are actually focusing on their own development and then awareness of the harmfulness of this thing. But because the youth are actually into this thing and then demanding for more, there is going to be more coming into the state.
Yes.
So they have to make both ways awareness of it, awareness of drugs, and then also awareness of how the life sentences could be. It's either by hanging or life imprisonment.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us on the Breakfast Show today. I've been your host, Busola. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.
Bye.